Namaskaram. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. On behalf of the K9, I welcome you all to join me on day 15 of Dhanur Dhya Sadhana, day 50 of Margashirsh. Shri Krishnavadishayatishwarabhyam Samprapta Chakrankana Bhashyasaram Shrinutnarangendra Yatau Samarpitaswam Shri Krishnamaryam Guruvaryamide Virodhe Kartike Mase Shatatara Krutodayam Yogacharyam Krishnamaryam Guruvaryamaham Raje Krishna Suri Daya Patram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimad Venkatanathāryam Vandeham Yogadeshikam Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Today happens to mark a very auspicious occasion on two counts. A, it is Hanumat Jayanti. Moola Nakshatram, the asterism under which Hanuman is believed to have been born. Hanuman represents a very important aspect of sadhana for those on the Adhyatmika path. And his birth is believed to have happened on this tithi, on today, under the star Moola. Today also happens to be Amavasya, the new moon. Again, every Amavasya, every new moon, traditionally is a time that is set aside to offer our respects and to commemorate the memory of those who have departed. Today's practice will bring together both these strands of thought. Hanuman was born to Anjana, an Apsara who had been cursed by a rishi to be born as a monkey, as a Vanara. Hanuman was born to Anjana and another monkey chief known as Keshari. He was born with the blessings of the winged god Vayu and hence is commonly celebrated as Vayuputra. Hanuman plays a very central role in the Ramayana, specifically in the Sundarakanda, which is almost entirely spotlighting Hanuman's incredible bhakti, diligence, discipline, control of the mind, and a capacity to achieve what is unachievable. In the path of yoga sadhana, we see that Hanuman as Vayuputra, literally the son, the child born of the blessings of Vayu, represents the power of Mukhya Prana. When we interpret the Ramayana from an Adhyatmika lens, the story is well known. Mahavishnu incarnates as Rama, eldest among the four sons of Dasharatha. Goes on to marry Sita, daughter of the earth, fostered by King Janaka. Subsequently, events occur in which Rama is exiled to the forest for 14 years. He sojourns there along with Sita and his brother Lakshmana. When they are in the forest, again many events come together, causing Sita's abduction by Ravana, the 10-headed Ravana, who abducts her to Lanka. Rama takes the help of Sugriva, the chief of the Vanaras, who in turn deputes Hanuman to be of service to Rama in his quest to find and bring back Sita. The story of the Sundarkandam is really the heart of the Ramayana, where Hanuman makes the first foray across the ocean He takes a mighty leap across the ocean to Lanka, where he finds out where Sita is being kept prisoner, challenges Ravana, sets fire to Ravana's court, and returns triumphantly. He tells Rama, according to the Kambaramayanam, he says, Contain Sita. He says, I saw Sita, I have seen Sita, and she is waiting for you. And then the story unfolds of how Rama proceeds to Rameshwaram, from where a bridge is believed to have been constructed across the ocean to Lanka, to Ravana's kingdom. And then a battle ensues in which Rama vanquishes Ravana, and Sita, Rama, Lakshmana return to Ayodhya for the Pattabhisheka. This is a story in a nutshell. If we look at Rama as the principle of the Paramatma, because it is Mahavishnu who has incarnated as Rama, as the supreme deity, we see Sita representing the highest power of the mind that has been pervaded with great clarity, so much so that it is always in alignment, always in absorption upon the Supreme. There is a very beautiful incident that is narrated in the Valmiki Ramayana when Hanuman makes his foray into the Ashokavana to look for Sita. He sees her sitting in the midst of the forest of trees. She's surrounded by the Rakshasis who guard her. And he utters to himself, Here is Sita. She sees not the trees. She sees not the Rakshasis around her. She sees not the trees, the flowers, the fruits, or the other beasts that are hidden, that are in the forest. She remains immersed in thoughts of Rama. This itself is a metaphor for our eternal quest to seek, to find, and to unite with the highest truth, the truth of the Paramatma represented by Rama. And Sita represents the mind that is in this resonance with that Supreme. What role does Hanuman play today on Hanumat Jayanti? It is significant that we try to reflect on the subtle inner significance of Hanuman. Hanuman endows us with Atma Shakti, self-empowerment, the highest spiritually motivated drive to seek, to attain, and to sustain a state of Nirodha, a state of absolute immersion in the Supreme. Hanuman, as the son of Vayu, is known to have the prowess of extremely fast flight. He has the power, multiple powers, to become as large or as small as he wishes. But we see that there are many yogic secrets that are hidden behind this symbolism. We see that in this magnificent universe, there lies beneath a thread of energy, constant pulsating thread of energy. This is what we speak of as Mukhya Prana. This universal energy, very loosely we might speak of it as air, the wind that helps us to breathe, that helps us to live. But over and above simply being air, it represents the prana of the cosmos. It is the Kriya Shakti, the power of action that governs all sentient, insentient, animate, inanimate forces of nature, present not just as Vayu in the atmosphere, but inherent in space. And it is in space, in the vastness of Akasha, that this power of Vayu manifests itself. It is Vayu that manifests as lightning. It is not just lightning that arises from the clouds, but essentially kinetic energy. And so you see that this principle of Vayu is operative from the smallest, from the subatomic level till the most complex theory of the Big Bang, which is at the heart of the creation of the universe. And it represents that Mukhya Shakti, the Mukhya Prana, the energy that emanates from Brahman itself, that pervades the universe, that in the absence of that energy, tapping into the secret of the Brahman would be impossible. At an individual level, we see that the Vayu outside becomes the prana that sustains life and that we breathe in as air. It is verily the life force that sustains all actions of the Pancha Prana. It is the Mukhya Prana that divides into Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, and Samana. Not just the physical prana, it's not just the physiological functions of prana, whether it is respiration, metabolism, reproduction, circulation, and so on, but it is also metaphysical prana, prana of the mind, because it is only through the prana that we can tap into the potential of the mind. And this is the subtle teaching of yoga that, as the Hatha Yoga Pradipika says, Chalevati, Chalam Chittam Nishchale, Nishchalam Bhavir. So as the wind blows, as the wind moves, so also moves the mind. It is through the restraint of the wind, here wind meaning air, representing the prana. Because you can't work directly with prana, we work indirectly through the vehicle of the breath. And therefore it is when there is a restraint of the vata that the mind comes to a point of stillness. And so Hanuman, as Vayuputra, represents that cosmic Vayu, but that manifests through the individual prana that each of us hold within, that comes in and flows out through the vehicle of the breath. It is this by which, with every breath that we regulate, we move towards a regulation of the mind. And from there, we move to the spirit of self-dedication, where we offer the Jivatma to the Paramatma that is represented by Rama. In another perspective, you could say that while Rama represents Purusha, Sita represents Mula Prakriti, and Hanuman represents the Mahat Tattva, the Buddhi, the Sutratman, the first manifest evolute from the Supreme. In the Narayana Upanishad, it says, Ata Purusho Bhavai Narayano Akamayata Prajasrajayeti Narayanat Prano Jayate. When that Supreme Narayana simply decided, simply willed creation, what emerged first was prana, the cosmic prana that enters into every one of us, brings sentience. And so we see that this figure, while it is represented as a Vanara with a monkey face, there are many stories behind why Hanuman acquires this kind of a jaw structure. The representation is always of, you could say, a warrior like deity, endowed with great strength, great conviction, one who does not back away from any challenge. This is the kind of quality that needs to drive our sadhana. And so it is through this individual prana that we rededicate ourselves, our lives, in service to Rama. Rama, the word Rama itself means the one who brings delight. And truly, the one who delights in the self. The term given for such a yogi is Atma Rama, the one who delights in the self, by the self, for the self, who abides in the self. And so the path that Hanuman shows is a path of self-dedication, a path of sadhana, a path of great commitment, of discipline, of letting go, of tremendous vairagya, of letting go of our attachment to the external world of appearances, notional, ephemeral, and yet that holds us prisoner. And Hanuman's power is what allows us to break free, instilling in us Atma Shakti, the capacity to drive ourselves towards what is within. Pratyak Chetana Adhigamaha Api Antaraya Bhavaha Cha are the benefits of Ishvara Pranidhana. The Antarayas are destroyed and the movement towards the light within is possible. There is a very beautiful shloka on Hanuman which says, Buddhir Balam Yasho Dhairyam Nirbhayatvam Arogata Ajadyam Vak Patutvancha Hanumat Smarana Bhavet. Buddhi, clarity of mind, Balam, strength, physical, physiological, cognitive, emotional, spiritual strength. Yashaha, great fame, renown. Dhairyam, courage, the capacity not to back away in the face of danger. Nirbhayatvam, the absolute absence of fear. Arogata, the absence of illness. Both of these, both the absence of fear and the absence of illness, become vital on a path of sadhana. And this requires a leap of faith, and Hanuman represents that capacity to take that leap of faith, knowing fully well that the power of the divine, of Ramanama, will sustain. Nirbhayatvam, arogata, ajadyam, the absence of jadata. Jadata is inertness, dullness. The absence of that, and vakpatutvam, great dexterity and scholarship in speech. These are the blessings that Hanuman gives us. In the Yoga Sutra, chapter 3, Sutra 44, Stula Swarupa Sukshma Anvaya Arthavatva Samyamat, Bhuta Jaya, by a deep immersive absorption, meditation on the gross and subtle aspects of the elements, the gunas that underpin them, the connections therein, one acquires Bhuta Jaya, mastery over the elements. What is Bhuta Jaya? Tadonimadi Pradurbhavaha Kaya Sampatu Tad Dharma Anabhigataha Cha. Sutra 45, chapter 3. Bhuta Jaya is the mastery of all the siddhis, from the capacity to make yourself atomic in size. There are a whole list of siddhis. All of them are possible. Kaya Sampata, the body becomes precious, it becomes invincible, it becomes powerful beyond measure. I'm not speaking about brute force. I'm speaking about tremendous resilience and the capacity of the body to serve us well in the pursuit of fulfilling our karma. And so that is Kaya Sampata, and Dharma Anabhigataha, no longer limited by the boundaries of Prakriti. Patanjali further defines Kaya Sampata as Rupa, Lavanya, Bala, Vajra Samhananatvani Kaya Sampata. This is a beautiful form, very, very charming form that attracts tremendous strength. Strength of mind, strength of will, strength of sensory disengagement, strength of right speech. Strength can take different forms. And Vajra Samhananatva, a body that is diamantine. These are the outcomes of Bhuta Jaya, and Hanuman represents all of these. Tulsidas says in the Hanuman Chalisa, this is the blessing that Sita Devi has conferred upon Hanuman, is Ashta Siddhi Now Nidhike Data. Asavaradina Janaki Mata, says Tulsidas. He is the one who has the abundance of siddhis and is the repository of all forms of abundance and power. And so we see that the cosmic Vayu is essentially Mahatattva or Buddhi that manifests as Vayu Putra, as Hanuman, and therefore linked to the breath that is within us, the Mahatattva that is within us that helps us to develop our own intelligence so that all of humanity can align in an interconnected network of thought, you could say. Alignment of thought to a higher common purpose. Strength of mind, resilience. These are the outcomes of meditating upon Hanuman. And Hanuman represents the power of the dhi, of the buddhi, a discerning mind that knows the difference between the real and the unreal. There's another very charming story when Hanuman is searching for Sita. He goes into Ravana's inner chambers where he sees Mandodari, Ravana's wife, lying in visual splendor. She's ornamented and in great comfort. She has attendants serving her, fast asleep. Comes in as a small monkey. Briefly, very, very briefly, he finds himself wondering if this could be Sita. In that very instant, he chides himself. He rebukes himself and he says, how could this be Sita? This cannot be Sita. She's not going to be here lying in this manner. without a care for Rama's suffering. And so, very beautiful turn where he says, "This cannot be Sita," and he rebukes himself for even doubting or even thinking that this could be Sita, and then this further fuels his drive, his desire to go further, to look for Sita, and that is how he finds her in the Ashokavana. This represents the power of the buddhi to differentiate between what is real and unreal, between what is Maya and what is the truth, because Sita represents that mind that is completely in resonance, completely in harmony, completely in synchronicity, completely immersed in thoughts of Rama, of that divine. But that is possible only when there is a restraint of that sense, of the senses. Restraint of the senses can happen only through the restraint of the breath, of the air that we breathe. And that is the principle that Hanuman represents as well. And so he pulls himself back and then goes forward to find Sita and then subsequently report to Rama. And so Hanuman is the one who's very wise. He's a person of, in fact, when Rama and Lakshmana come to meet Hanuman, again, the conversation of how Hanuman is described in the Valmiki Ramayana is very moving, as Valmiki describes Hanuman's intelligence and how he is able to converse the highest Vedantic truths with such ease and felicity. And so Hanuman represents the power of the buddhi, the inner intelligence that is capable of discerning truth and untruth, what is real and unreal, the permanent and the impermanent, and keeping its mind fixed without wavering on the final goal, which is heaven. And therefore, the purpose, you could say, of when we bring up Hanuman into our body, I mean, when we anchor this power of Hanuman in our breath, to say that this is the true power of yoga. In the Yoga Sutra, Patanjali says, Dukkha daurmanasya angamejayatva shwasa prashwasa vikshepa sahabhuva, where there is confusion, where there is agitation of the mind, then dukkha, sorrow, daurmanasya, negativity, angam ejayatva, debility of the body, and disturbed breathing, they automatically manifest. Our pathway out, corresponding corollaries would be sukha, saumanasya. Sukha is a state of wellness. Saumanasya, a very pleasant mental disposition. Angasthirya, resilience, strength. And dirgha sukshma prana, breath, prana that is long and smooth. And so this is the true power of yoga. This is where the key of yoga is, because it is through regulating the prana that we have boundless vitality. The purpose of yoga is to draw the prana, to hold it in. We are moving towards Kevala Kumbhaka. This becomes the ultimate goal. It is only through that that you are developing that indomitable will to hold on to, and a concentration that is fixed without wavering on the goal, on the object, the dhyaya, which is in this case Rama. And so the purpose of all yoga sadhana is for this individual prana to eventually merge with the cosmic prana represented by Vayu. And it is only Vayu Putra that can lead us there. So with this as our focus, let us move into the practice. There is also another very beautiful shloka on Hanuman. Asadhya sadhaka swamin, asadhyam tava kimvada, Shri Rama Duta Kripa Sindhu, mat karyam sadhaya prabhu. Says there is nothing that cannot be achieved by Hanuman. For he is the one who says, Asadhya tava kimvada. He would never say anything is impossible. He would always find a way, because he's Ramaduta. He is Atma Sakha. He is Mukhya Prana, the messenger of Rama. And so the shloka says, before you take up any task, invoke the power of Hanuman in you, so that you see that task through to its culmination despite any challenges that you might face. Now, what delights Hanuman? This might be Hanuman Jayanti, but what delights Hanuman is Ramanam. Say that where the Nama, where the name of Rama is uttered, there Hanuman will be there. There are many, many such stories that speak of this. The very word Rama itself is one that's very powerful. It appears in the Vishnu Sahasranama as well as a verse when Yudhishthira asks Bhishma. This is a very long You've spoken at length about the power of the 1008 names of Mahavishnu. Is there something that would be much more accessible, that can be done by people in this Kali Yuga? And Bhishma says, Shri Rama Rama Rameti, Rame Rame Manorame, Sahasra Nama Tattulyam, Rama Nama Varanami. So there is just this one word made up of two syllables, Ra and Ma, and it is this that is the equivalent of chanting the 1008 names of Vishnu. When we look at the composition of the word Rama, the Rama Nama is what is dearest to Hanuman, and that will be the focus of our practice for today. When you look at the composition of the word Rama, the letter Ra is believed to have come from Narayana, and the letter Ma is believed to be taken from Namah Shivaya. So you have Ra from there and Ma from here, bringing together the essence of the Ashtakshari Om Namo Narayanaya and the Panchakshari Om Namah Shivaya. What is also very interesting is that Puranic lore tells us that Hanuman, also known as Anjaneya because he's born to Anjana, is an Amsha, is an aspect of none other than Shiva. So in the very form of Hanuman, we see a synthesis, the representation of unity within the multiple forms that are revered. And so for the practice today, we will focus on prana, pranayama, because it is this that Hanuman represents, and we will invoke the Nama of Rama through this, because it is this that is most dear to Hanuman. I'd like you to sit with your back straight, eyes closed, chin down. You see before you a very beautiful artistic rendition of Hanuman seated in Dhyanam. Hanuman is literally the transmitter, that which is a conduit to bring to us the immense power that is Rama, because Rama represents the Paramatma, the source. Sita represents Prakriti itself. They come together for the creation of this universe. The work of the yogi is through the Vayu. We are utilizing the power of prana, which is the Vayu that moves in. And it is through this, and Hanuman represents the power of bhakti, that in sadhana, bhakti becomes paramount. And so that the true bhakta is the one who sublimates to that divine will with a genuine seeking. And that is the motivating power of Vayu, the power, because it is driven by an unmitigated, undiminishing love for the pursuit of truth. And how does this vibrate? How does the power of cosmic Vayu vibrate? Through Omkara, this stated in the Yoga Sutra as well. And therefore, to become Hanuman, as Dr. David Frawley says in an article, we must awaken to our inner nature as a portion of cosmic consciousness, as a servant to that consciousness, to the universe self that is Sri Rama. Because within us is the power of the universe, but all that we need, find it, is to surrender. And this is possible only when we realize the presence of the Antaryami, the Ishvara that is within, because this is the indwelling controller. And therefore, Hanuman is Ramaduta, who brings to us, who channelizes, who takes and gives to us the power of Rama in a form that we can handle. And it is this Hanuman only who can help us to find Sita, to find that power of the mind, of the buddhi, that sometimes is obscured in the forests of avidya. And so without Hanuman, without Vayuputra, without Ramaduta, we cannot find Sita represented by the buddhi of the highest class. I'd like you to focus on breathing in and out. Deep breaths in. Focus on your chest. As you breathe in, gently draw in your lower abdomen as you breathe out. There are a number of names by which Hanuman is revered. I will be using two of them in the practice today. Rama Duta, the messenger of Rama, the one who holds the secret of the cosmic truth and therefore can lead us to find it. I'd like you to breathe in and out as slowly and deeply, as smoothly as possible. I will chant on your inhale. Try to make it a full, deep inhale and a long, slow, deep exhale. Go to your maximum capacity. I will be chanting on your inhale. Please repeat the chant on your exhale. Om Ramadutaya Namaha. Chant. Om Ramadutaya Namaha. Inhale. Om Ramadutaya Namaha. Om Ramadutaya Namaha. Inhale. Om Ramadutaya Namaha. Chant. Om Ramadutaya Namaha. Inhale. Om Ramadutaya Namaha. Chant. Om Ramadutaya Namaha. Last time. Inhale. Om Ramadutaya Namaha. Om Ramadutaya Namaha. I'd like you to focus in the center of your heart space. This is the seat of prana. As you breathe in, just visualize your in breath. It represents the power of Hanuman as Vayuputra coming in. I'd like you to visualize that your in breath moves in a clockwise direction. You're centering at the center. You can visualize Rama. You can visualize Rama with Sita, or you can simply visualize light. As the in breath moves in, move clockwise around. Come to the center in front as you inhale. Stop there and exhale. Then chant Ram, Ram, Rama, Namaha. Then on the next, just breathe in there. On the next exhale, simply visualize the breath moving outwards. It's just going out through your nostril, but in your mind, visualize it as prana and apana circumambulating around the central space of the heart, which is the seat of Rama, Atma Rama. The self is ever in a state of ananda, independent of anything else. Again, when you come to the top, after you have exhaled, stop and chant Ram, Ram, Ramaya Namaha. The visualization has to be an active one. Your breath will just flow in and out. Your breath is simply moving in and out this way. But in your mind, visualize the breath moving in concentric circles, ever widening circles. So from the left down on the whole, just finish the inhale, stop. Chant Ram, Ram, Ramaya Namaha. Take a breath there. On the next exhale, Apana moving outwards in a circle and out. Visualize the Apana. Just stopping here for a moment. Again, chant Ram, Ram, Ramaya Namaha. Again, the next inhale, make the circle wider. With every breath. Inhale. Visualize the prana moving down, from up, down, in a circle, clockwise circle, coming to stop beneath this point in the middle of the chest. Chant Ram, Ram, Ramaya Namaha. Inhale here. As you exhale, now Apana moves out, completing this circle, moving outwards. At the very top, after you've exhaled, chant Ram, Ram, Ramaya Namaha. Again, inhale. Prana coming in, make the circle a little wider now. Inhale. Stop. Ram, Ram, Ramaya Namaha. Inhale here. As you exhale, Apana moving out in the upper part of the circle. Come to the very top. Stop and chant. Ram, Ram, Ramaya Namaha. Inhale. Wider circle. Pause. Ram, Ram, Ramaya Namaha. Inhale here. Exhale. Apana moving upwards. Inner circle. Wider circle. Stop at the top. Ram, Ram, Ramaya Namaha. Two more rounds. Inhale. Ram, Ram, Ramaya Namaha. Inhale here. Exhale. Let Apana move upward and outward. Stop at the top. Ram, Ram, Ramaya Namaha. Last time. Make this your widest circle. Inhale. Ram, Ram, Ramaya Namaha. Inhale here. Exhale. Ram, Ram, Ramaya Namaha. Just take a few breaths. Just for a couple of minutes, let us meditate upon the form of Hanuman, who is the embodiment of mental resolution, fortitude, discipline. Just focus on the image. When you close your eyes, just simply try to hold the same image in your mind. I will be alternating the two shlokas that I mentioned. Finish one and I stop. Until I finish, please look at the image. Once I'm done, close your eyes, try to bring the image to your mind and chant Om Atmasakhaya Namaha. As I mentioned in Madhva philosophy, Hanuman represents Vayu Jivottama, Hari Sarvottama, Vayu Jivottama, the Mukhya Prana. And so invoke this power because it is through the breath that we can control the mind, bring this stillness, this silence. Hold this image as I chant the stotra where I stop, Atma Sakhaya Namaha, then I move to the next stotra. We'll do this for a few rounds. Just try to keep your mind fixed on this image of Hanuman. बुद्धिर्बलं यशोद्धैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। ॐ आत्मसखाय नमः। असाध्य साधक स्वामिन् असाध्यं तव किं वद श्रीरामदूत कृपा सिन्धो मत्कार्यं साधय प्रभो। ॐ आत्मसखाय नमः. Open your eyes when I chant the Yaja Stotra. When you chant, close your eyes and try to hold the image of Hanuman. बुद्धिर्बलं यशोद्धैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। ॐ आत्मसखाय नमः। असाध्य साधक स्वामिन् असाध्यं तव किं वद श्रीरामदूत कृपा सिन्धो मत्कार्यं साधय प्रभो। ॐ आत्मसखाय नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोद्धैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। ॐ आत्मसखाय नमः। असाध्य साधक स्वामिन् असाध्यं तव किं वद श्रीरामदूत कृपा सिन्धो मत्कार्यं साधय प्रभो। ॐ आत्मसखाय नमः. Now just for a minute, hold on to this image. Visualize all that Hanuman represents: Buddhi, Balam, Yasho, Dhairyam, Nirbhayatvam, Arogata, Ajatyam, Vakpatutvam. All of this that we discussed: a clear intellect, strength, vigor, resilience, pain, confidence, courage, unwavering courage, good health, the absence of laziness, and dexterity, skill in speech. Visualize all of this simply flowing into your mind, strengthening the mind, making it a vessel, a patra, sakpatra, eligible to receive, to hold, and to share the light of the Atma Rama within. Try to keep your breath as slow, as smooth, as steady as you can as you do this. Now slowly let go of this image. Simply offer your gratitude to Vayuputra, to Mukhya Prana, for the vitality that fills us, that is the essence of all that we do and is essential in sadhana. Simply offer your gratitude. Today also happens to be Amavasya, the new moon of the month of Margashirsha, a very specific day that is set apart to honor those who have walked this earth before us. In the Indian tradition, the Antima Samskara play a very, very important role, the funeral rites, and are considered essential in enabling, in catalyzing the Atma's journey to the Pitriloka. But not everyone who passes on has the benefit of having proper last rites performed, and therefore Amavasya becomes a common tithi in which we honor all those who have departed. We are in times of great conflict, great loss of life. Across the world, the grief of loss can be very intense. There are soldiers, army, navy, air force fighting, preserving our borders, maintaining the integrity of nations. There's so much of loss of life there that many don't even realize. As we come to the end of 2024 and stand at the threshold 2025, as we look forward to new beginnings, let us not forget those who have given their lives so that we may be well, or who have lost their lives in various circumstances, who may not have received the final rites due to them. Just hold all these Atmas, whoever they are, wherever they are, unseen, unknown, hold them in your mind. Simply visualize a smooth passage to the Pitraloka. Visualize Atma Shanti of all these souls who have gone from this earth this year. Join me as we chant the Mrityunjaya mantra. We will do this 11 times. It's a very beautiful mantra, can be used in times of crisis or to tide over any difficult circumstance. It's also a mantra that confers good health and a very powerful mantra that can be offered on the Amavasya Tithi, specifically visualizing the Atma Shanti of all the Atmas. May not even be known to you, but just holding them and seeking the smooth passage of that Atma to the realm of the Pitras, of the names of the ancestors. With this visualization, please join me as we chant the Mrityunjaya mantra 11 times. Om Triambakai Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiv Bandhanan Mrityormukshiyamamritat. 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 Om त्र्यम्बकै यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धना मृत्यो क्षीय मामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकै यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्क्षीय मामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकै यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीय मामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकै यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीय मामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकै यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीय मामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकै यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीय मामृतात्। Just hold the silence for a few seconds. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is the 15th day of Dhanur Dhya sadhana. We'll meet again tomorrow. Thank you. Namaskar.